What is the IELTS speaking test really like? Nerve-wracking? Exciting? Challenging? Fun? Well, believe it or not, that depends on you. Let's find out. Hello, it's Keith from the Keith Speaking Academy and the YouTube channel English Speaking Success, here to help you become a more confident speaker of English. Now, I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking maybe about taking the IELTS test, International English Language Testing System. So this is a test of your English ability for people who may want to work abroad, study abroad, or live abroad, usually in an English speaking environment, and you need to show your level of English to do that. I'm also guessing probably that speaking is not your forte, not your strength. Maybe you lack a bit of confidence in your English speaking skills. It may be the case for some students, when they take the test, they've never spoken to a native English speaker, or they're a bit nervous about the etiquette, their behaviour, what they should say or not say. Will they make a cultural mistake? There's lots of things. But relax. I'm here to help you. I'm going to go through the IELTS speaking test. I'll explain the format, the different parts, how long it takes, what to expect, what the examiner is looking for, and also some tips at the end of the video on how you can best handle the experience. I said at the start of the video, your experience depends on you. And to an extent, that is true. Whether you're going to experience the test as challenging and difficult or fun and exciting does depend on your mindset. And that's an important part I'm going to talk about a bit later in this video. For now, let's dig in and talk about the general format of the IELTS speaking test. Okay, IELTS speaking. Just to be clear, in IELTS there are two modules. There's an academic module and a general English module. Academic is more for people going to university, the general for people living and working in a foreign country. The speaking test is the same for both. So the IELTS speaking test, and this is really important, is a test of your natural spoken conversational English. It's not about formal academic English. It's conversational English. So it's just the natural way we speak. That's the first thing to get clear, right? So when you're preparing for IELTS speaking, you don't want to be just focusing on formal speaking of presentations and speeches. You want to be focusing on speaking naturally, natural everyday conversations, the way people speak in their families, at home and on the street. That's what you need, okay? Let's look first at the format of the test. Basically, there are three parts. In part one, there are going to be questions about you and your personal life and experience. In part two, you have what's called a long turn. So you're given a topic and you have to speak about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Part three is a deeper conversation on the same topic as part two, but going a lot deeper, more abstract, more in-depth analysis, evaluation, speculation, justification of ideas. It's a deeper conversation, okay? Now, the test overall is it's not really a conversation, okay? It's kind of a conversation, but you cannot ask questions to the examiner. So it's really a question-answer conversation. They ask, you answer. But it is natural, informal English, right? And you need flexibility. And you need to develop your answers. What's key is you have to show the language that you have. You can't expect the examiner to guess that, oh, actually, you're probably very good. No, he can only, or she can only evaluate the language that you speak. So, quick tip, speak as much as you can. They will cut you off and interrupt you if you're speaking too much. And that happens, okay? So don't worry about that. So let me just talk you through what happens from the start to the end. You will probably be taken into a large hall with other candidates. You'll be asked to wait. And then you get taken to the room where the examiner will be. It's a little different in each country, but in effect, the examiner will come, greet you at the door, invite you into a closed room, just say hello, shake hands, not necessarily, a little smile probably helps, but that's it. Just very, very simple. Hello, hi, nice to see you. He or she will ask you to sit down. Make sure you sit down in the right chair. I've had candidates sit in my chair before. No, make sure you're in the right chair. They will show you. And then they're going to it's an introduction, which is just a couple of questions for them to check you are who you are. So they'll probably check your ID, ask for your name. And then there's a very brief introduction around, they'll ask you either around about your work, your studies, your hometown, or your home. And these questions are just to warm up. It's a chance for them to get used to your voice and for you to get used to their voice, right? It is really a warm up. So don't worry about your answer too much. Just take it as a chance to warm up. Talk about what you do, where you live, depending what they ask you. Then comes part one, the questions about you. There'll be 2 topics normally with 2, 3, maybe 4 questions. The idea, part 1 lasts 4 to 5 minutes. The idea is just to ask you some fairly quick fire questions about you, and you give answers fairly short, 2 to 3 sentences, and it's about you. The kind of thing like, do you like this? Have you done this? Did you do this as a child? Would you like to do this? Your experience, okay? So don't give one-word answers. Give short answers, but several sentences just to develop the answer a little bit. Remember, you want to show the examiner the language that you have. The examiner doesn't care if it's true or false, if it's made up or real, if it's something that is something they agree with or disagree with. It doesn't matter. They only focus on your language. And I'm going to speak about what the examiner evaluates in a few moments. Also, the examiner will probably be recording the test. So they'll have a little voice recorder at the start. They'll turn it on. And then during the test, they may make 1 or 2 notes. Ignore it. It's got nothing to do with you at all. At the end of part 1, they'll give you a topic card, sometimes called a cue card, with a question. Normally, describe something. Normally, it's about a place or a time something happened, or a thing, or an activity, or an event, normally within those categories. And then there are normally 3 bullet points. You talk about the who, the when, the where, the what, the how, the why, and inevitably describe how you feel about it. It gives you a great structure that you can follow. You don't have to follow each bullet point. Okay, you don't have to, but it's a great guide to help you. You get 1 minute to prepare. You'll have a piece of paper and a pencil. You can write a few notes. That 1 minute flies past. So make the most of that 1 minute. Think about what you're going to say. Think about some key ideas and then get ready to go. You then speak for 1 to 2 minutes, minimum 1 minute, ideally. After 2 minutes, they will stop you. They may ask a follow-up question, but it depends on the examiner. In part 2, this again, it's normally about your personal experience, right? Something that happened to you, something you have, someone you know, or someone you like maybe. There's all different kinds of questions, but it's about you. And you really need to train to speak for a long time. And this is the hard bit. It's often difficult to speak for more than a minute. You want to practice speaking for 2 minutes and practice this at home. My advice is practice speaking for 20 seconds, then double it to 40, then double that to 60, and slowly practice speaking on the same question longer and longer and longer. Always looking how to develop your answer, right? Use the bullet points. Give examples. Talk about why. That's the key question that can always help you develop your answer. If you can, try and use a wide range of tenses in part 2, which will show off some of your grammatical knowledge. Then into part 3, again, it's 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner is going to take back the card and then going to ask you questions, maybe 4 or 5 questions on the same topic, but going into subtopics, going deeper. So for example, if the topic was about something you bought in a shop in part 2, part 3 might be about online shopping, or the safety of online shopping, or shopping for clothes, or men and women's attitudes to shopping. They'll choose some theme and then go deeper. And then the idea here is you give longer answers. You develop your answers, right? Give your opinion, give reasons why, justify, speculate, think about, give examples that helps you develop your answer. Your answers need to be longer. I would just say, keep talking till the examiner interrupts you, if you can, in part 3. And then at the end, that's it. At the end, the examiner will say, thank you very much. That's the end of the test. You will leave the room. And within a few seconds, the examiner will have got your level, and they will make a note of your level then and there. But they will not tell you. And don't bother looking on the paper. There's no clues there. This is not Agatha Christie. Just say, thank you very much, smile, and leave the room. And that is an IELTS speaking test. Let's talk about what the examiner is thinking during the test and how they evaluate you. So throughout the test, the examiner has a piece of paper called the band descriptors, and it's the criteria they follow for each band in the IELTS. It goes from band 1, very low level, to band 9, like native speaker level. And they're going to analyze your fluency, 25%, your vocabulary, lexical resource, 25%, your use of grammar, 25%, and your pronunciation, 25%. And as you're speaking, they'll be checking the criteria and analyzing you. So with fluency, they're looking at how easily and effortlessly you can talk and make longer sentences. They're thinking about your hesitation. Is there a lot of hesitation or none at all? Is the hesitation looking for the right grammar and the right vocabulary, or is it just trying to get an idea? They're looking at your coherence. Do you connect your ideas? Do you develop your topics? When it comes to vocabulary, they're looking at the range. Are you using a wide range of vocabulary? And also, do you have a good grasp of collocation, of nuance, of style? Are you using common vocabulary or less common? Can you use idiomatic expressions also? And all of this, it's not only the width, nice word, the width, it's also the accuracy. Are you making mistakes or not? When it comes to vocabulary, there's a common misunderstanding that you need complicated vocabulary. That is not true. What you need is the right word to express your idea. So sometimes the right word is going to be a very simple word, right? Happy. I was happy because you were happy. But if you want to express a time when you were very, very happy, you may say over the moon. I was over the moon. I was thrilled to bits, because you want to express in a colourful way you were very, very happy. So it's not about the complicated words or these band 9 words people talk about. It's the right word to express what you want to say. Likewise with the grammar. They're looking at the range and the accuracy. They're looking for a mix of complex grammar and simple grammar. Finally, pronunciation. They're listening here for pronunciation. Are you using all of the English pronunciation features in the right way to convey your meaning? Pronunciation features, what are they? The pronunciation of a word or a sound, we call a phoneme, like A, E, I, N, P, B, the phonemes. Pronunciation of words. Word stress. Is it produce or produce? Where do you stress the word? Sentence stress. right? Which word do you stress in a sentence? And how does that affect the meaning? Connected speech, put off, put off. Do you connect the speech? And by the way, with connected speech, you don't always need to connect, but you have to show that you can connect sometimes. And in addition to that, intonation. Are you using natural English intonation, rhythm, and pace as you speak? All of these are the pronunciation features. It's not about accent. You can have a local accent so long as it has very or no effect on understanding, then that's fine. So you don't need to sound like a British person or an American person. You can have your local accent, but just be clear. Make sure you're enunciating and pronouncing correctly with all of those pronunciation features I just mentioned. On top of all of that, the examiner is always thinking about, are they a good communicator, right? They don't evaluate communication, but it helps. It certainly does help. If you can communicate confidently, speak clearly, have some eye contact, it just helps communication and it makes a difference, right? Imagine, you know, the models walking down the catwalk. So when Gucci or Armani are selling their new clothes, they have a beautiful model who walks down the catwalk, not like that, better than that. But that model, because they're attractive and they're walking in a certain way, it makes it easier to sell the suit and the clothes. It's a similar thing. If you're communicating, right, confidently and strongly, it just makes it easier to sell your language. Okay, the examiner's not buying the communication, they're not evaluating it, but it helps. So just bear that in mind. Okay, some final tips for you as you're preparing for your IELTS speaking test. Just remember, you want to be preparing natural spoken conversational English, first of all. When you're preparing, try and get familiar with the most common topics for IELTS speaking. You've got two challenges. One is to show your language level, but two is to get ideas. If you're going to talk about the economy, you must have ideas. So do some research. Think about your ideas. Make sure you get plenty of ideas as well as develop your language level, right? Get familiar with common or maybe less common topics. Don't worry about learning all the questions. If you've built up your flexibility, you'll be able to handle that. Don't memorize your answers. Doesn't work. My tip is when you're practicing, try and give a different answer every time to the same question. Different answer. Build flexibility. Really key. Also, before the test, the day before the test, rest well. It's a demanding test. Make sure you rest. The morning of the test, surround yourself in English. Listen to the radio, some music, chat with a friend, just say a few words. Get yourself in the English mood, right? The English vibe, if you like. Finally, get it in your head that you're going to enjoy the test. When students say, is the IELTS test enjoyable or terrifying? Well, it depends. It's your choice. Really. You can choose to enjoy the test or you can choose to be terrified. Admittedly, there will be nerves. You may have what we say butterflies in the stomach. You will probably be nervous, but that's fine. Just be nervous. Let that feeling rest in you and then just go ahead. But think, I'm going to enjoy this. Whatever happens, I can't change anything now. I'm going to enjoy it. And that mindset, positive mindset, is going to help you in the test to smile, to do your best, to communicate, which also helps, and do your best. And remember this, most of the examiners want you to succeed. They are not the enemy. Most of them want you to do your best, to give your best performance so they can evaluate your real level of English. So remember that as you go to do your IELTS speaking test. If you've got your test coming up soon, I hope this video helps. If you're worried about nerves, if you're a bit of a shy person, go and check out this video. It'll really help you. If you want a little summary of all of these ideas, just to help you, there's also a PDF you can download for free and have a look at that. I wish you lots of luck in the IELTS speaking test. Most of all, believe in yourself. You can do this. A lot of it is up here. Believe in yourself, do your best. You're going to do a great job. I believe in you, for sure. If you're watching this, I hope it helps. Thank you so much for watching and for learning with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right, take care, my friend. All the best. Bye-bye.